All right, so I'm back again. This is abundance reading. Okay, so abundance messages for the divine masculine, divine feminine. Again, I pray over these cards. Pray that they are covered in the name of Jesus. Pray that these, again, this is masculine, this is feminine. It's already kind of popped out. So those are what I'm going to go for. But again, I'll continue to pray over them. All right. Again, I would just pray that these messages can help the divine masculine and divine feminine as they're going through this journey. This is the abundance. Abundance does relate to, of course, finances, but it can also be as well as love, career, health, things of that nature, relationships. Okay, so abundance is not only money, but it can include other things. Okay, so for the masculine, dreams of abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are guiding you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you manifest your desires into reality. Okay, so again, that's just pretty it's pretty obvious that the masculine is constantly having dreams and visualizing him being abundant. And there are messages, which again, I can put down in a description box of different, websites that include, dream journals or possible meanings of a dream these messages we have that we get in our dreams, they have a lot. They do have a lot of meaning behind them. Some dreams can be a little exaggerated. It could be vivid dreams. Okay. Now, sometimes, again, this is just kind of me talking. This is kind of something that I needed to just share. I guess what I'm being guided to do is that there are different kind of dreams. All right. So there are dreams where they are, negative. So they're from the dark. So there could be dreams of, or not even dreams, but where you're actually being attacked, spiritually attacked. This is not what I'm talking about. But again, there are things like that happen, which is not the purpose of this. But again, there's different kind of dreams. This is what I'm just sharing. Then there's, more of like vivid dreams. Well, no, let's go back. There are dreams there. It can be maybe within, like maybe the moment you wake up, you don't remember anything that happened. Sometimes you didn't even necessarily dream, or it could have been very minor that it wasn't really important. Okay. So it could have just been, maybe something that you saw, like on TV or heard something in music. And it was still on your psyche. So it was there. So it wasn't really anything that was like a message per se in it. Then you have other dreams. A lot of times I have dreams within dreams. Then I have dreams where I don't understand how I got from one dream to another, but somehow it connects to something. Maybe the first dream, it wasn't really anything too important, but the next dream that happens within that dream, it has something very vital. Okay. Those things, maybe typically you may remember 2 or 3 things from there that kind of stuck out to you. And so again, when you wake up, have a dream journal beside you, write it down quickly. Even if it's just one minor that you feel like is something minor detail, it could open up, maybe something along in the daytime can kind of remind you of it, and give you some insight of why that was important. Okay. So there's another kind of dream where you might remember 2 or 3 things. Okay. Then there's, very vivid dreams where, even to this day, I've had dreams from maybe years ago where I can not necessarily remember it verbatim, but I can remember it like it was yesterday, and I didn't write them down. Those typically are prophetic dreams. We all have different gifts. We all have gifts, but again, we have to make sure that we are connecting to God and understanding our gift, not using it for bad, not using it for our own self gain, but also just understanding, God, what is my gift? How can I use it for your kingdom? How can I use it to help people? Okay. So again, that was just kind of my side tangent, advice, things that I need to share as far as dreams are concerned. For those of you all who do have those dreams, have a dream journal. Okay. You can even go on Pinterest. There's this thing called bullet journaling that I'm actually starting to get into myself, where some people have included a page for dreams. Okay, so that's something that can just kind of help you remember what came to mind as you were asleep, because again, there are messages. All right. So yeah, that's for the divine masculine. Do that. Have a dream journal. Feminine, focus on your priorities. Where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are calling to you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them the time and attention they and you deserve. Even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you feel better and more confident. Okay. So the same thing like I just said for the masculine, having a journal. Okay. Like I said, these bullet journals, even if it's a square journal, I don't care, whatever journal that you feel that you will like. All right. Having something visual, having that where you can record things. Okay. So, having different page for each priority, whether it's bills, whether it's, your work, your schedule at work, relationships, people in your life, different things of that nature. But, right now what the feminine can be going through is that, a lot of feminine, like I've seen, and even for myself, like I said, I'm the feminine. So it gives me a little bit more clarity on my situation of, feeling like, I've been very focused. I've been very into my masculine energy, where I'm working and, I'm making money. I'm doing these things, of course, but, the point of this is not to go from one extreme to another. The point is to balance it out. And to understand that even though now you're making money and, you're getting funds and you're paying these bills, understand that you can't neglect your spiritual side. You can't neglect God. You can't neglect God. That's really what it is. You cannot neglect God. You can't get to this point where you're doing all this work and making this money that you forget where you come from. Okay. And even that scripture, I can't remember which one verbatim or anything, where it talks about, you can't serve two masters. And it talks about God and money. You can't serve money and God at the same time. So, understanding that, you have to prioritize these things. God is the number one priority. Your self-care, your, love, okay, devotion, things of that nature is the most important thing. When that is, where it needs to be. And that's a daily thing. It's a daily submission. It's not just I prayed or I did devotion or I meditated, Tuesday and, you haven't done that the rest of the week. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new day, with a set of challenges that come your way. And it's going to require you to have that, balance between, the physical and the spiritual. Okay. So prioritizing that, again, connection with God is the most important. Your healing comes next, and even with your beloved. Okay, your beloved is another priority too. You're submitting to God's order in your life, to God's will in your life, and God said in the Bible, man, it is not good for man to be alone. And even with translations and everything, man now, in a sense of English, is not what man meant, in the sense of, in the Hebrew translation, but man just meant humans. So it is not good for humans to be alone. It's not good for us to be alone. Okay. So, understanding that your relationship with your beloved, your relationship with other people is also important. Okay. because, you know, you can have all the money in the world. You can be as successful as you want to be. But money doesn't fix anything. Money doesn't take care of your problems. Money doesn't remind you that you are loved. Money is money. It doesn't care about people. Money is just a thing. It's something tangible. It's not even something that we own. It's just something that is used to as a use of trade. And it's another tangent that I can get on, but it's not the point of this video. So back to what I was saying about priorities. It's great that, you know, you have your job and you have money, because again, we're still humans, and right now at this moment, our society and the things that are in this world, we still have bills to pay. Okay, we still have things to take care of, and even there's people who may want to travel. Okay, so you need money to travel, but just understand that it takes prioritizing and not being so focused on. Just don't be so focused on the outcome of things. Okay, don't be so anxious about how things are going to manifest or how things are going to work out, because abundance, again, it's not even just about money. It's about love as well. It's about health. Okay, so your health is important. Okay, you can't continue to give and do all these things for other people at the expense of your own health. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get cards from the Soul's Journey. This is just pretty much just an affirmation that the masculine and the feminine can keep in mind as they are, as they are going through. Okay, this is going to be for the masculine. As they are, you know, being reminded of, you know, their abundance in their life. Okay, so an affirmation to keep in mind as they're going through life. The one from masculine popped straight out, but we are still waiting for the feminine. Okay, that's the feminine. Okay, when I see just upside down, that's just a pretty much an emphasis. All right, so forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. All right, so it can be resentment towards himself or others. Maybe being hard on himself about not being aware of even his own, you know, spiritual gifts. Okay, so maybe it could be that he could be beating himself up about, you know, I didn't know that I was getting messages, or I didn't know that I had these gifts. But, you know, God is advising, or like, you know, wanting the masculine to understand that, you know, it's okay. It was, he was asleep. Okay. He wasn't understanding. But his life's not over. He still has things, to learn. He still has gifts to share. And it's not too late. He's still here. You know, he can still make a difference. So, these, dreams and everything that you're going to have, or even it could be that, you know, maybe if you're not having dreams, it can be because you are blocking them. Okay. It could be that you are, you're not letting go of doubts and fears and insecurities, or bitterness. Okay. So even those things, those can block, your abundance. It can block your dreams, the messages that God is trying to give you in your dreams. Okay. So, that can also be the case for the masculine. And then for the feminine, denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Okay. So, you know, maybe the feminine has been, gotten to this point where, you know, she may have been like, okay, well, I've tried the whole spiritual thing. I've tried the whole, you know, sharing my gifts. I've tried these things, but I didn't see anything come from it. Or, you know, not that that's exactly what they're saying, but that could be something that's going on. Or maybe the feminine may be feeling like she has to overcompensate with the the physical job, with things, trying to take care of everything in the physical, because maybe she's denying the fact that she has spiritual gifts, or doesn't believe that she has spiritual gifts. She doesn't believe that she has something to give to others. Okay, so again, the feminine is just being guided to understand that, the fear that she has of not having her needs being met, that she's going back to, being aware of the truth of the situation, that this money, abundance, all these things that we have that are tangible, it's of this world, but God is above this world, okay? Love is above this world. And, God's kingdom is coming. So understanding that she needs to be aware of God's power in her life, and that the situations that are happening in her life are minor compared to what God can do. But also understanding that even for herself, being so focused on the physical and trying to please the man, or trying to, and when I say the man, I'm not talking about a man, I'm talking about, government, society, other people, things of this world. But just understanding that, she, I'm sorry, I blanked out. Balancing things, balancing them out. So not completely forgetting her job and what she's here to do, because many feminine are out there actually doing their mission. And even when it comes to, when I say spiritual gifts, it doesn't always have to be something on YouTube. It doesn't have to be something that other people are doing. But, for those of you who are in quote unquote physical or 3D jobs, matrix jobs, maybe you are, think about like you're infiltrating the system. Okay. So maybe you are one of the few in your camp who have these gifts, or, you're being called to utilize these gifts where you're at, but you're afraid to do so. Okay. So don't deny that. Understand that God has placed you where you're at, because you have the ability to connect with others around you, to inspire them, to encourage them, to even get back in tune with their gifts. And, just your walk in life will inspire others to, and encourage others to build up their connection with God, because that's what this is really about. And it's about love. It's about helping each other. Okay. So that is what I have for the abundance reading for the masculine and the feminine. And I hope that you all can take these messages and apply it into your life, and that they help you all as you continue on this journey called life. With that being said, I'm done, and I will have some others coming soon.